Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. You wake up before the alarm goes off. No laziness, no stalling. Your body gets up almost automatically, but with purpose. Your head is clear, your focus is sharp, and you already know. Today is another step towards your goal. You feel, really feel, that you're in control of your life. Now imagine starting the day by crossing off a goal from your list. Then another, and another. You see your body evolving, your business gaining traction, your career taking off. It's not luck, it's not talent, it's discipline. Sound familiar? You probably know someone like this. Someone who makes what most people can barely start look easy. This person delivers, produces, grows. And you wonder, maybe even silently, what do they have that I don't? The answer isn't some magic secret, not some supernatural gift. It's something much simpler and more powerful. Discipline. But not just any discipline. Trained discipline. A mind shaped to act, even without desire. And this can be trained. By you, starting today. What if I told you that you can be one of these people? That this life isn't some distant dream, but something within your reach? Sounds too good to be true, right? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes I'm going to show you exactly how to train your brain to develop unbreakable discipline. And the best part, you'll leave this video with the solution in hand to start this transformation today. No stalling or complicated theory. From now on, I'm going to deliver practical steps and insights you can apply immediately to your routine. The goal is simple. Help you turn off autopilot laziness and activate maximum discipline mode for good. Every tip and insight here is for you to feel a change right away, even if it's small but immediate. Because I know you don't want to waste time. You want results. So pay attention. If you watch until the end and put into practice what I'm about to share, you'll realize that training your brain for discipline isn't rocket science. Actually, it's much simpler than most people think. And you're going to prove that to yourself. Now, maybe you're thinking, I've tried so many times to be disciplined and always end up slipping. Is the problem me? I completely understand that frustration. It's horrible to look at yourself in the mirror after another unproductive day and feel that weight on your conscience, that voice saying, "Again, you didn't do what you promised." It's painful to see time slipping through your fingers while your plans stay on paper and dreams seem increasingly distant. How many times have you promised yourself that this time will be different, whether on New Year's, your birthday, or some random Monday? And still, just a few days later, the initial motivation disappeared and you found yourself falling back into old habits. I know, it's a terrible feeling of defeat, of self-sabotage, isn't it? But let me tell you something important. There's nothing wrong with you. Lack of discipline isn't some incurable defect, it's not a life sentence. It's just a sign that you, like many of us, haven't learned to train your own brain the right way yet. The good news is that this can change. And know this, you're not alone. Many people have faced this same problem and managed to turn things around with the right strategies. You can also be one of these success stories because now you're going to discover the path. Imagine what it would be like to finally break this cycle. Instead of feeling guilty every time you procrastinate, feeling proud for keeping promises to yourself. Instead of wondering why you don't have the life you want, starting to build that life, one habit at a time. This is possible, and the answer lies in something I'll call mental muscle, discipline. And today, I'm going to show you how to develop it. You might be thinking that discipline is for people who are too straight-laced, or that it's something boring, almost military, that takes away freedom and joy from life. Surprise! It's exactly the opposite. Discipline doesn't suffocate your freedom. Discipline creates your freedom. I'll repeat, discipline equals freedom. When you're disciplined, you take control of your destiny. You're no longer at the mercy of your impulses or circumstances, because you decide what to do with your time and energy. That's not prison, that's power. Another thing many people get wrong. thinking that to be disciplined you need to be motivated all the time. Let me tell you, motivation is unstable. It's like the weather outside. Some days it's sunny, some days it rains. You don't control it, but discipline is like an internal engine that you turn on yourself, regardless of what the weather is like. The real champions, leaders, successful entrepreneurs act even without desire, even on difficult days when motivation has disappeared. They understood that discipline beats motivation by a landslide. Notice, no Olympic athlete trains only on days they're inspired. No entrepreneur builds an empire working only when they're excited. Daily discipline is the common denominator of all great achievements. And here's the final insight of this key shift. Discipline is a choice. Yes, a decision you make. And you know what else is a choice? Living without discipline. It might not seem like it, but every time you decide to stay in comfort instead of acting, you're choosing, even if indirectly, a life of mediocre results. Does it hurt to hear this? Maybe, but it's supposed to hurt now to avoid much greater pain later, which is the pain of regret. So I ask you, what are you going to do about this now? What would it be like to finally take control of your mind, instead of letting it sabotage you? How exactly can we train our brain to develop this unshakable discipline? Think about it. If discipline is mental muscle we can develop, what's the right workout for it? Is there a method, a step-by-step process? And where to start, especially if today it seems so hard to break out of inertia? Let me tell you a quick story. A young man went to an old wise man complaining that he felt stuck, without willpower to do what needed to be done. He said it was like there were two voices inside him. One encouraged him to be better, to study, to work on his goals, but the other voice only wanted comfort. Sleep a little more, procrastinate, leave everything for later. The wise man listened and replied, "Inside all of us there are two wolves that are always at war. One wolf represents discipline, focus, and action. The other represents laziness, distraction, and stagnation. These wolves fight fiercely every day." The young man, intrigued, asked which wolf wins in the end. And the wise man smiled and said, "The one you feed." This story is powerful because it illustrates exactly what happens inside me and you. Every decision of your day is a way of feeding one of these wolves. When the alarm goes off in the morning and you get up on time, even wanting to stay in bed, guess what? You're feeding the discipline wolf. When you choose to go to the gym instead of staying another hour on video games, discipline wolf. When you focus on important work instead of spending all day on WhatsApp or Instagram, you're strengthening that strong wolf inside you. On the other hand, every time you say, "just 5 more minutes and go back to sleep," when you leave that report until the last minute again, when you eat that junk even though you promised yourself you'd stick to the diet, it's the laziness wolf you're feeding. And it gets stronger and stronger while the discipline wolf gets weak, almost inaudible inside you. The good news is you can change this starting now. Just like a muscle can be developed with training, the discipline wolf can become the strongest one inside you with small daily victories. Discipline is like a mental muscle. At first, lifting the weight of creating a new habit can be difficult. It might even hurt. You'll feel that internal resistance, that desire to give up, just like that little ache from the first day at the gym after being inactive for a long time. But if you persist, if you repeat the exercise tomorrow, the day after, and continue, that muscle grows. Each time it gets easier to wake up on time, follow the routine, do what needs to be done without so much internal struggle. And this isn't just motivational talk, it's neuroscience. Your brain really adapts to what you constantly repeat. There's a brain region called the prefrontal cortex, which is like the muscle of self-control and smart choices. When you practice discipline, when you force yourself to focus and not give in to distractions, it's like you're working out that part of the brain, and it really gets stronger. Studies show that people who develop discipline habits have more activity in this region, meaning they train their brain to work in their favor. At the same time, when you constantly give in to quick dopamine, to short videos, constantly checking your phone, seeking immediate pleasures, you're weakening that brain muscle. It's like letting it atrophy. That's why it's so hard to focus nowadays. Our brain is addicted to easy and constant rewards. But remember, the brain is flexible. It learns. You can re-educate your mind. You can desensitize this addiction to ease and teach your brain to enjoy the process, the challenge. But how do I start? Start small. The next time your brain begs for an immediate reward, for a break, test it. Wait 5 minutes before giving in to a temptation. Want an example? You know when you get that uncontrollable urge to check messages while working? Instead of automatically grabbing your phone, take a deep breath and wait 5 minutes. Keep focusing on what you're doing. Often, after a few minutes, that craving passes and you realize you didn't need to stop. And even if it doesn't pass, you prove to yourself that you're in charge of you, not your impulse. Another tip: make discipline easier. Make distraction harder. Leave your workout clothes ready the night before so you have no excuse in the morning. Set alarms with reminders of your whys. Hey, time to study because you want that promotion. Small positive tricks like this help your brain stay on the right path until it becomes an automatic habit. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're reinforcing to your subconscious, I am a disciplined person. I do what needs to be done. And that identity gets stronger and stronger inside you. There comes a point where it's no longer as difficult as it was at the beginning. Believe me, what was sacrifice becomes routine. What was a challenge becomes your new comfort zone. And then, my friend, you've unlocked a new level of your life. Oh, and an important detail. Even how you talk to yourself makes a difference in this journey. Instead of saying, I have to do such thing, try saying, I choose to do such thing. It seems simple, but this word swap removes that heavy obligation feeling and reminds you that you're in control, doing this by your own choice to get where you want. The way you communicate with your brain shapes your reality. Now it's up to you. It's no use me saying all this if you don't act. Remember the 2 wolves? They're inside you right now, waiting for your next order. Which one are you going to feed today? I want to give you a challenge. Before sleeping tonight, grab the paper and pen, or your phone's notepad, and write down one single action you've been postponing that you commit to taking tomorrow as soon as you start the day. It could be waking up 30 minutes earlier to go running, finally starting that online course, or calling that important client first thing. Anything you know is important but you've been procrastinating. Write this down and leave it somewhere visible. Tomorrow, when you wake up, do what you promised yourself before anything else. Prioritize this action and follow through. It'll be your first victory of the day, your first conscious act of discipline. And after you do it, notice how you feel. Enjoy that feeling of achievement. It's the taste of freedom that discipline brings. Use that energy to tackle the next task and the next, one at a time. If you're up for doing this challenge for, let's say, a week, I guarantee you'll already notice something changing inside you. Small or big, doesn't matter. You'll have started the discipline engine. A useful idea is to mark each completed day on a calendar or habit app. Each X you mark on that day is like a consistency medal, and you won't want to break that chain of consecutive victories. This becomes powerful motivation to stay strong. And remember, each day is a battle won. Not every day will be perfect. You might slip at some point. We're human. But don't use that as an excuse to give up. Use it as motivation to come back even more focused the next day. The decision is in your hands now. Discipline or excuses. Action or inertia. You're the author of your own story, and every choice you make writes a line of it. When this video ends, are you going to choose to get up and do something that brings you closer to your dream? Or are you going to slide to the next video and forget all this? The choice is yours. I genuinely hope you choose the option that will take you closer to the life you want. Training your brain for discipline is the best decision you can make for yourself. And if you feel this content helped you in any way, go ahead and like this video so I know. And tell me in the comments, what disciplined action are you going to take today? Write your commitment down there. I want to see who's really going all in. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you want more tips on productivity, discipline, and personal growth. Now go and show yourself what you're capable of. Remember, the life you want depends on the choices you make today. See you in the next video.